than they have. Genuine super. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, only the second time he's played here at Wembley. And after a magnificent season in terms of scoring goals, he's going to make a big impact. The impact that Manchester United need him to make on the Premier League this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, please now welcome onto the pitch today's chief guests.
Won the Community Shield, more than they have. Presentation party includes David Gill, who is a genuine super. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, only the second time he's played here at Wembley.
He did exactly that stuff last season.
And after a magnificent season in terms of scoring goals, he's going to make a big impact. The impact that Manchester United need him to make. And the rules are slightly different today, slightly different to a league match. The team have named 7 substitutes, and they can use 6 of them during the match, and the game will go straight to penalties if it's all square. Won the Community Shield, more than they have. Presentation party includes David Gill, who is a genuine super. Zlatan.
Extra times becomes a bit of a non-event. Everybody wants to get to the penalties and the drama of the penalties. So in this occasion, a week before the season's about to start, I think it makes sense.
Handshake there between Sir Bobby and Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney starting the season 4 goals behind Sir Bobby Charlton on Manchester United's all-time list, and it's a near certainty, barring injury, that record will fall to the Manchester United captain at some stage this season. And what a record that will be to own when you think of the players who have pulled on the red shirt for United down the years.
Ah, yes, and also the fact that Wayne's done it in a, well, it looks as if he's going to do it in an England shirt if he picked the next couple of occasions by the New England manager Sam Allardyce. The fact that he's going to break virtually every record for club and country, I think it says it all about Wayne as we look at Jose there.
They've already got the flags made. Big day for him.
Wembley, please be upstanding for the national anthem this afternoon performance.
So we get prepared for the national anthem here at Wembley Stadium, sung today by Emily Haig.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's introduce the starting 11 for both teams. First up, Leicester City.
So the team news then, Claudio Ranieri stuck with the players that won the league title last season, essentially. Nempalis Mendy and Ahmed Musa are among those on the bench today. Robert Huth starts, even though he'll be suspended at Hull next Saturday. Andy King comes in for the departed N'Golo Kante in midfield. Mahrez and Vardy will again be the key attackers for the champions.
11, Mark Albrighton.
Eric Bailly and Zlatan Ibrahimovic are both in from the start for Manchester United. Daley Blind is at centre-back. Chris Smalling suspended for the season opener. Luke Shaw starts at left-back. Good to see him back in the Manchester United team. Martial, Rooney and Ibrahimovic make up the front three. Henrik Mkhitaryan will be used off the Manchester United bench. Steve, that's the tried and trusted lineup for Leicester, a shape that served them so well last season.
Yeah, and it's reward for their wonderful performances last year. Andy King's in for N'Golo Kante, as we well know. But it'll be more of the same for Leicester. They won't change the way they play, and of course, as the boys said before, all eyes on Eric Bailly. How can he cope with Jamie Vardy? And of course, Zlatan, the man himself, up front. How is he going to turn out in the Premier League this year?
Well, Paul Pogba might turn out to be the main summer signing for Manchester United, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic might make the most headlines for them. Set for his first Premier League season at the age of 34. 50 goals for Paris Saint-Germain last season suggests there's still plenty left in the tank as well. On the other side, Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez are still at Leicester despite Arsenal's apparent interest in both of them. Whether they can replicate last season's success is one of the burning questions heading into the new campaign. Jose Mourinho didn't say whether he was the special one or the happy one after joining United. He's probably the relieved one to finally get the job after all these seasons at Old Trafford, and he's certainly not lost any of his drive, judging by the recent comments. It's Claudio Ranieri's first game at Wembley as a manager, and after last season, who knows what the next 9 months or so could potentially have in store. Fantastic setting, Steve, isn't it? Wembley Stadium for the Community Shield. I always say to people, if you want to book a weekend away in the British Isles, make sure it's the first weekend of the football season, because the sun always shines.
Weather's always beautiful, pitch always looks fantastic. The stadium, I think, speaks for itself. Red and blue either end of Wembley. Let's hope the football on show is just as good as everything else.
And there's Craig Pawson, who was an additional assistant to the Euros in the summer, part of Martin Atkinson's team. He was here last season for the FA Cup semi-final between Crystal Palace and Watford. And he gets the first big occasion of the new football season here at Wembley today. The last warm-up game for Leicester City and Manchester United before it all starts for real next weekend. And the Community Shield underway in the sunshine at Wembley. And after last season's fairy tale storybook season for Leicester City and the rebuild for Manchester United over the summer months under Jose Mourinho, it really is set up for these two clubs, along with many, many others, to have a very interesting and, I'm sure, roller coaster season in the top flight of English football. Leicester only lost 5 games in all competitions last season. Only 3 of those defeats were in the Premier League. Manchester United, of course, missing out on those Champions League places on goal difference, hence the desire by Mourinho to bring more goals into the team. Red shirts and white shorts for Manchester United, all blue for Leicester. First touch here at Wembley for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Jesse Lingard, whose memorable strike won the FA Cup back in May. And here's Luke Shaw, the left-back, who has battled so hard to come back from that double leg break that he suffered in the Champions League against PSV Eindhoven last season. And really good to see the young England defender back fit against him.
Yeah, it's great to see him back. He had a really good start to last season, looked really fit and well and strong. Real good engine on him, and to see him with that horrific injury, it was really, really sad, and it's great to see him back, and hopefully he has an injury-free season and does himself proud. Got a big future ahead of him.
It's Daley Blind, who started more matches in all the competitions for Manchester United than any other player last season. He's in there because Chris Smalling hasn't been back from his extended summer break for too long, and he'll be suspended as well for the opening league match of the season. So it's Blind alongside Bailly, and lots of focus on the young defender that Jose Mourinho signed from Villarreal. It's Michael Carrick. New contract, his 11th season at Manchester United. First defending back there for Danny Simpson to do in front of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. What do you think, Maka? Still going to get the job done with regular goals in the Premier League, Ibrahimovic?
Well, I think if they had the forward men to put them on a play like they have done in the past, he'll score lots of goals, but there's no way I think he's going to achieve the same type of numbers he got last year in the Paris Saint-Germain shirt. I think it's a different league and it's a different type of setup, isn't it? Paris Saint-Germain were head and shoulders above everybody else, so I think it'll be hard for them, I really do. Whether he's got the energy and the desire to do it in the Barclays Premier League, because it will be tough for him, but it's great that he's here. He is a character, and that's what we all want to see, don't we?
Okazaki challenged by Fellaini. The first header won there by the Leicester captain, Wes Morgan.
You can see Leicester not changing anything that they didn't do last year, did they? They're quite happy to concede possession. Let Manchester United have the ball, knock it around. They'll just try and bide the time and wait for the moment.
You do wonder, though, how different teams will approach Leicester tactically this season, because they were so dangerous on the counter-attack with the speed of Vardy and Mahrez, and they've added Ahmed Musa, the Nigerian international from CSK in Moscow, to the side as well. Here's Vardy. Okazaki's in the penalty area with him. It's a decent run, and Daley Blind had to get across to make that challenge on Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, he does really well, Jamie Vardy. I thought Albrighton got in his way, but actually he was a good shield. Nutmegs Eric Bailly, and the follow through from Daley Blind just catches him.
Won by Huth, and Blind there again for Manchester United. The last touch off Danny Drinkwater. First time that Leicester have actually played a game at Wembley since the year 2000, when they beat Tranmere Rovers in the League Cup. That was the old stadium, of course, so it's the first time they've been to the new place, and they're here as champions. The Champions League to come for the first time this season for them as well. They've had a taste of the kinds of teams they'll be playing against in the pre-season. They played Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona, albeit conceding 4 goals in both of those matches, but such a sense of excitement around the King Power Stadium, and with the season here at last. Here's Rooney for Manchester United, and now Fellaini. Michael Carrick. Luke Shaw. Now Anthony Martial. There was a school of thought, Steve, that Martial might play a more central role before Ibrahimovic arrived, but with Zlatan here, he'll be on the left-hand side, and you feel eventually Henrik Mkhitaryan will probably play on the right, where he was so effective for Borussia Dortmund last season.
Yeah, it's a formidable front three, isn't it? Especially if Wayne Rooney's in the team just behind them, that front four. It was very exciting, Anthony Martial. The only thing I would say is if he does play wide left, which is seemingly his position, they have to give him the ball. He's very dangerous when he runs at players. He's quick, he can beat a man.
So can Luke Shaw. He's setting off down the Manchester United left. It was Simpson who got a cross there. You're not necessarily expecting the dummy there from Michael Carrick. And there's Henrik Mkhitaryan, who was such an important player for Borussia Dortmund last season. Played 52 games for them in all competitions and scored or assisted in 49 goals. I mean, he's a...
Yeah, he was a really good player, actually. I saw him a lot certainly in the Europa League as well as the Bundesliga, of course. We talk about formidable partnerships, him with Marco Reus and Aubameyang, extremely dangerous, ran Bayern Munich very close in the Bundesliga, so I think for Manchester United to get him with a year left on his contract, for the money they paid. I think it was really good business.
Lingard couldn't make it stick. Andy King is in there in place of N'Golo Kante. He's a Chelsea player these days, of course. Signed a new contract himself in the summer, Andy King, but it's a key man to replace, isn't it? N'Golo Kante. And then Palis Mendy is on the bench, along with Ahmed Musa, two players who broke the Leicester transfer record during the course of the summer. They've got to make sure they get that blend right in central midfield as they try and defend the Premier League title.
Yeah, you see the boys on the bench there. I think the main thing, Fletch, is the fact that they've kept hold of Jamie Vardy. It's important that they keep hold of Mahrez as well, of course. He's been the player of the year. It shows what an outstanding year he had. You don't want to be messing around come the end of the season, do you? You want to actually come the end of the transfer window.
And so Mahrez looking to try and make something happen. Looking at the free kick as well. It's that early ball, isn't it, that Leicester tried to play that was so effective for them last season. Here's Rooney. Ibrahimovic waiting for the cross, which was dealt with by the Leicester captain, Wes Morgan. And Valencia has just been caught there by Mark Albright. And Martial. First chance he's had to have a go at Danny Simpson. He felt he got the right kind of angle for the shot.
You don't mind that at all, driving in at him. Mahrez does well, actually, forces them down one side where Simpson was. But they'll come an occasion where it'll be one-on-one. There won't be 2 against 1 all the time. And Martial is very, very dangerous. Just couldn't get his foot around it. Here's the pullback before from Fellaini. That's where Mahrez wanted the foul. I think Eric Bailly would have got there anyway. There's the track back there. Bailly was there, to be very honest, but there's certainly a pullback by Fellaini.
Fellaini wins the header above Shinji Okazaki. Here's Huth, who was the left part of that formidable centre-back pairing in the Premier League last season. It wasn't all about the goals of Vardy and Mahrez, although they got most of the attention, but they were so solid at the back, and the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, was rock solid too.
Oh, they all played their part last year, didn't they? Chipped in with a few goals as well. Wes Morgan, Robert Huth, really important goals at times. It's a huge test for them this year, particularly with the Champions League midweek as well.
I've got to say as well, Steve, the pitch is in excellent condition, bearing in mind that Liverpool played Barcelona on it less than 24 hours ago. The ground staff have been out there and made sure the surface is as pristine as it can be when you play 2 games on the same surface in quick succession.
Yeah, here it looks immaculate. And the groundsmen do deserve a lot of credit.
Away by Shaw. There's Ibrahimovic. Now Lingard. A little bit of space here for Antonio Valencia, who's got the nod during pre-season over Matteo Darmian. There's still a bit of speculation about whether he will stay at Manchester United or not, Darmian. Now Shaw with room on the other side. Rooney's header. And a comfortable take in the end for Kasper Schmeichel. First work that either goalkeepers had to do here today.
Yeah, it was easy enough for Kasper Schmeichel, wasn't it? Deflection off Riyad Mahrez, right onto Wayne. Simple enough header for Schmeichel.
He was the Leicester City Player of the Year for the 3rd successive season last season, Kasper Schmeichel. 15 clean sheets in the Premier League, 19 in total. And of course he was able to add another title winners' medal to the Schmeichel family, bearing in mind all of those that his dad won at Old Trafford. Away by Blind. Morris for the touch, and then Jamie Vardy, who was just met there by Eric Bailly.
Yeah, that looked like a foul, to be honest. He stood on the back of his ankle, his Achilles.
Now Rooney. Danger spotted there by Christian Fuchs, and then the early ball again. This is the challenge by Bailly, Steve.
Yeah, just comes in the back of him, doesn't he? Certainly contact there.
It's a good test though, isn't it, for Eric Bailly this early in his Manchester United career, to play against a very traditional English-type centre-forward in Vardy, who's going to work him and run him and knock him around a little bit as well.
Yeah, he's only a young boy actually, he hasn't got a huge amount of experience. I know he's brought from Villarreal, but he wasn't there long either. So it's a massive test for him to go for Villarreal. No disrespect to Villarreal, it's a small team in Spain. Nice compact ground, nowhere near the level and the scrutiny of Manchester United with the manager that they have. So it's a massive season for him. Season for him.
Jose Mourinho succeeded Claudio Ranieri at Chelsea.
Season for him.
Succeed the Italians, the manager of the league champions. Next year, they've already forgotten about what they achieved. Jose Mourinho succeeded Claudio Ranieri at Chelsea.
Season for him.
Succeed the Italians, the manager of the league champions. Next year, they've already forgotten about what they achieved. Jose Mourinho succeeded Claudio Ranieri at Chelsea.
Season for him.
Succeed the Italians, the manager of the league champions.
This time, after losing his job at Chelsea, if Pogba comes in, he spends a lot of money already, so there's a huge amount of pressure on him to perform as well. That's the wonderful thing about a team like Manchester United. They're so big, with such a big character as a manager. Throw in a couple of superstars, you've got to soak proper till the end of the season.
His ball finds Martial. He was then looking to pick out Fellaini. Ibrahimovic in with a challenge on Morgan, and Fellaini gets the shot away, which Schmeichel got there too. I think Craig Pawson just wants to have a little check here on Danny Simpson, who stayed down away from play.
I said what was a nice aggressive challenge by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. See here, he's having some of that. Look at how high he gets up. Certainly giving Wes Morgan a little bit. I know Simpson was in the middle of it as well.
I'm not one to give advice, Steve, having not been out there like you have, but don't get in the middle of Wes Morgan and Zlatan Ibrahimovic if you can help it.
I like that though, isn't it? Nice good contest. Shot by Fellaini there again. Straight down the middle. Kasper Schmeichel.
Mourinho made the point this week though, didn't he? He said it might take a while to change the philosophy in the players' minds, to move from Van Gaal to him, to do what he wants to do. Do you think that's a valid point?
Yeah, definitely. And also, if you look at the starting 11 today, Fletch, he's brought in Eric Bailly, who's relatively inexperienced, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So you can't expect the other 9 to instantly change, especially when a lot of them have been away and they're coming back into pre-season in dribs and drabs because of the tournament that they just played in. So you don't expect them to hit the ground running, not at all.
He's a notorious front runner as well, isn't he, when he wins championships, and you feel that if it is going to take a while, he might have to try and win it from an unfamiliar position. Quick starts during his time at Chelsea, the 3 successful title-winning seasons. He started those campaigns with a 10-game, a 16-game and a 19-game unbeaten start in all competitions. It's hard to do that when you're trying to change a philosophy and rebuild the side.
He'd love those type of numbers, anywhere near those type of numbers this year.
Fellaini's won his first share of headers so far. Morgan sends it forward, but only to David De Gea, the Manchester United Player of the Year last season. Now here's Jesse Lingard, and Christian Fuchs have made up ground well. It's going to be a goal kick as well. The last touch came off the Manchester United player. Fuchs, who started the last 27 Premier League matches after winning his place in the side, and he did well there.
Yeah, he does well with the challenge and just shows a little bit of strength as he leans on Jesse Lingard and just comes off his shoulder. if someone in the Leicester camp's got a bit of an injury. We've sent someone out to warm up on the far side, only one of them, and there's a couple more now coming out to join him.
Might just be waiting for Danny Simpson's head to clear. Here's Ibrahimovic. And there's room here for Antonio Valencia to stretch the legs. Fuchs coming across for Leicester. And they've defended it well. He's a big favourite with the Leicester supporters, Christian Fuchs. As is Mark Albrighton here, who was pretty much in the side when he was fit last season. He was the tinker man when he arrived in the King Power Stadium, Claudio Ranieri. But the big key for Leicester last season, Steve, was the fact they stayed fit, and he stuck with a side that worked for him. Here's Vardy. He skipped away from Michael Carrick, and he's got away from Eric Bailly too. Now Okazaki. And it was a little bit of a teaser for David De Gea. The deflection made it awkward. Leicester City get the corner, and the spin on the ball just made David De Gea delay his dive.
Yeah, they got a little bit of luck with Jamie Vardy here, didn't they? I think David De Gea had it well covered, to be very honest. Off Daley Blinds, you see he pulls his arms away at the end. He always knew it was going wide.
Albrighton out here to take this Leicester City corner, the first one they've had so far. Huth and Morgan, both a threat from the set piece, are in there. And it's a combination, I think, of Barr and Blind. Yeah, prevented it going in.
It was Okazaki with the header. Great run and flick from him. He's the one who gets across. I think he gets across Michael Carrick. It's the bar.
Yeah, straight off the bar.
Everybody concentrating on Huth and Morgan.
Luke Shaw has just been slow to get back to his feet, but it's
got a smack over his eye, hasn't he? You can see it starts to swell up already.
It's something you've always got to be aware of, though, isn't it, Steve? When you're defending set pieces against Leicester, it's not just about the size they've got, but the delivery from the likes of Albrighton, very, very effective.
Yes, the delivery, the movement of the players. If someone can get a yard on the person that they're marking, and Okazaki did that just then. Got off the front of Michael Carrick. It was a nice header from him.
Morez with the layoff to drink water. And Vardy gets involved but can only pick out Michael Carrick. Couldn't quite reach it, and Eric Bailly can cover things up for Manchester United.
Yeah, there's Luke Shaw, gets a smack right at the far post as the ball goes past him just there off Andy King.
It was Ibrahimovic who got the job of picking up Okazaki at the corner. On by Fellaini, away by Morgan. There's Okazaki. Now Riyad Mahrez. Nice skill to get away from Luke Shaw. Drinkwater. Anthony Martial was alive to the danger behind him. If you are looking for an omen today, none of the last 5 Community Shield winners have gone on to win the Premier League title. It's turning into the football equivalent to the Par 3 competition at the Masters. And you've got to go back to Manchester United in 2011, the last team that started the season by winning the Community Shield and then lifting the Premier League title at the end of it.
I was only 5 years ago. That's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Could be 6 today. You never know. Ibrahimovic challenged by King. Here's Shaw, who seems to be okay after the bang in the eye. Lingard to Valencia. And now Ibrahimovic. Okazaki runs into Marouane Fellaini. There's Lingard, he swaps sides. Morgan appeal for handball. And Craig Pawson, after a bit of consideration, obliged.
Yeah, I was looking for the assistant over there. I was wondering who gave the decision, because it certainly wasn't the referee. I don't know whether it was the fourth official gave it. Jose doesn't agree. Doesn't surprise me. But the official on his side kept his flag down.
It's Albrighton. Just switched the wingers over, hasn't he, Mourinho, at the moment. Lingard's gone to the left and Martial to the right.
United just need to, because they've got majority possession, they just need to move the ball a little bit quicker and try and feed it to Martial or Lingard. Try and feed them when they're one-on-one against the respective full-backs. It's all a little bit pedestrian, like it should be probably at this stage of the season, this type of game. And the weather that we have today, this is all a little bit slow. You want it to explode into life a little bit more.
Albrighton helps it on. The usual target. Vardy was there. Now Simpson, Danny Drinkwater, and Mahrez. United able to get bodies around the ball, and Wayne Rooney can bring it the other way. Valencia. Martial was intending that ball for Rooney. There's Albrighton. Valencia's done well there to nick it back, but then Manchester United give the ball away again. Drinkwater floats one up here to Vardy, who'll test Eric Bailly. And the summer signing from Villarreal equal to the task on that occasion.
Yeah, and he needed to be, didn't he? It was a nice challenge, actually. When Vardy controlled it, looked dangerous. It was a nice, well-timed challenge.
Another corner, though, from this Leicester City left. Michael Carrick's got the task of Okazaki this time. Huth and Fellaini, who got to know each other pretty well at Old Trafford towards the back end of last season, are there together. And Bailly attacked it, got there in front of Morgan. And then a missed kick by Christian Fuchs.
That was a nice header by Bailly, actually. Fletch showed both ways of defending. Nice tackle on Jamie Vardy. Good strength here on Wes Morgan.
He's only 22. Eric Bailly, Ivory Coast international. Played against Liverpool, didn't he, in the Europa League semi-final last season, which is the highest profile match that he's been involved in his young career so far.
Oh yeah, you'd have to expect a few mistakes. He's, as you rightly said, he's only 22, relatively inexperienced. He's come from the Spanish league, so to make this step up, it's going to be a big step for him, and you'll soon know whether he's going to be a superstar or not. The first 27 minutes of this game has been very accomplished.
Rooney to his England teammate Jamie Vardy. So 3 or 4 passes in the last couple of minutes or so, Manchester United, where they've given the ball away. Here's Mahrez. And now Vardy. Okazaki waiting for the cross. It's glanced away by Blind and then helped on further by Lingard. Now Fuchs, Mark Albrighton. In by Fuchs. Valencia with a partial block on it. Eric Bailly with another header one inside his own penalty area for United. Here's Albrighton. Plenty of space here for Danny Drinkwater. Vardy was the man on the move. Hooch can bring it forward here. Rooney can't hold it though. Just get the sense here, Steve, the game's just starting to open up a little bit. It's taken a while, almost half an hour.
Yeah, let's hold tight. We need a little bit more entertainment, don't we?
It's a big conundrum, isn't it, on a day like this? You want to win the trophy, there's no point coming to Wembley on a day like this and not doing, but you want to make sure you're fit as well and completely ready for the start of the season proper.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a week's time.
That's why you can't be too critical of people making mistakes, and certainly not yet in the season.
Here's Mahrez looking to take on Shaw.
I mean, if I was Leicester, I'd be trying to give the ball to him as much as possible. For the first 20 minutes, he hardly had a kick, and suddenly he receives the ball and he looks skillful, he looks dangerous, so try and feed him the ball.
I mentioned the start of the Premier League season. We've got it for you next weekend, next Saturday. Manchester City against Sunderland, our first match. The coverage starts at 5 o'clock, BT Sport 1 HD, and in 4K Ultra HD as well. The kickoffs this season at 5:30. Leicester City, the champions, against Arsenal. That's on Saturday, the 20th of August. Again, a 5 o'clock start. And the week after that, Hull City against Manchester United on the 27th of August. 5 p.m. it all begins, and 5:30 the games kick off. A bit of talk in the newspapers this morning, Steve, that Mike Phelan, the former Manchester United assistant manager, may well be the answer to the managerial vacancy at Hull.
Yeah, well, I think they need some stability, and if Mike Phelan does get the job, well, brilliant for him. You just hope he does really, really well. He seems to be in a little bit of a quandary up there at Hull. Let's hope they get themselves sorted out and bring in some more players so they can get a team on the pitch.
Goes from Rooney towards Ibrahimovic, who was in between a couple of Leicester City defenders. Now Shaw, there's a challenge quickly there by Okazaki. Rooney did well, and then Jesse Lingard. It's a decent run this from Jesse Lingard as well, and he's going to go all the way, and that's a fantastic goal by the player who won the FA Cup for Manchester United last season.
Great goal by Jesse Lingard. I must admit though, I thought it was a strange goal, wasn't it? Wes Morgan comes out and actually collides with nothing, just kicks a fresh air shot, but Jesse Lingard, lovely movement here, great speed. Hey, Wes Morgan just threw his legs, completely misjudges it, and there's a lovely finish by Jesse Lingard. Scored a wonderful goal in the FA Cup final a couple of months ago. He surpassed that with a different type of goal, but a really vitally important one for Manchester United, and they're off and running.
Well, the last goal he scored here was pretty special, and you'd put that one right alongside it, wouldn't you? Jesse Lingard, who was given a nod today by Jose Mourinho over the big money summer signing Henrik Mkhitaryan, and he's more than repaid his manager. 6 goals last season. He was on loan at Leicester as a teenager, and I agree with you that he got a bit of fortune along the way, but he had to keep his balance and keep his nerve, and he did that, finished it superbly.
Yeah, you only get a reward, don't you? It's not his fault that Wes Morgan came and missed his challenge. Jesse was found himself in the box, and he had the awareness, the calmness, the coolness to stroke it past Kasper Schmeichel for the goal. 2 goals and 2 Wembley appearances, not bad for him.
And in all honesty, Steve, it's the goal the game needed, isn't it? Just to open it all up a little bit.
Very, very much so. It's great that the deadlock has been broken. Hopefully now Leicester will be a little bit more positive and get a bit of entertainment.
Mahrez challenged by Shaw. We talked about the test that Vardy's going to give Bailly today. It's a similar situation for the Manchester United left-back Luke Shaw, isn't it, against Riyad Mahrez?
Yeah, huge test for him. Psychologically as well, Fletch. He has to come in, he has to make challenges, he has to be firm. He has to rid his injury problems out of his mind as well as out on the pitch. And the fact that he's up against the Player of the Year, it's a good test for him.
It's 11 months since he suffered that horrific double leg break in Eindhoven against PSV. Didn't quite make it back for the Euros last summer, but fit and raring to go this time around.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision not to miss the Euros, wasn't it? Here's the goal again. This was nice movement though here by Jesse Lingard. Lets it come across his body, bursts forward straight away. It's this challenge there. Whereas Morgan goes to ground. There's nothing Danny Simpson can do. He can't bring Jesse Lingard down, but Jesse Lingard still has to do the hard part, and the hard part's putting it in the back of the net, which he does with aplomb. That's what David De Gea thinks of it.
I think you saw the reaction there of Kasper Schmeichel as well. He wasn't used to seeing his defenders defend like that last season, was he? It was a very un-Leicester City-like response to that Jesse Lingard run.
Get it out the way today, Fletch.
Yeah. Morgan, who was in the middle of it, didn't miss a minute in the Premier League last season. Away by Bailly. And you've got to say, Steve has settled in well at centre-back, hasn't he? He's been impressive so far in the opening 34.5 minutes.
Yes, he has.
Shinji Okazaki, who's fouled Fellaini. Do you like the new haircut, Steve? Or the different colour?
What, on you?
Not me, on Fellaini.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I had a silly haircut, but that's ridiculous. Come on. There's the stats there, as you can see. Leicester still yet to get one on target. Don't want that to change.
On by Lingard. Here's Rooney. And now Ibrahimovic. Anthony Martial.
This is what you like though. Look, Luke Shaw bombing on like that.
With a chance to cross and to try and pick out Rooney. And it was Robert Huth who'd reacted quickest, and then the assistants flag up after the Huth header.
I think that's one thing for Manchester United to be excited about. We talk about them getting players getting wide and running forward and getting crosses in. You see Luke Shaw, the energy of him. If he continues to do that throughout the season, they will get bunches of goals, Manchester United. They really will. Great to see.
Still only 21 as well, I suppose. If you are going to suffer an injury like that, do it early in the career when you can allow the young bones to heal. St. Mahrez, quick feet as always. Vardy waiting for the cross. Okazaki was in there too, so was Daley Blind for Manchester United. Leicester corner. Such a key player, wasn't he, last season, Mahrez, the PFA Player of the Year.
You can see why so many teams want him, Fletch, even in the little cameos today.
That's one of the danger men for Leicester. Morgan's in there as well. It was to Andy King, who got there in front of everybody else, but then got slightly too much on the header.
Yeah, you can see, though, they have certain set pieces, don't they? Because that wasn't hit with a lot of force, that corner. It was as if they were trying to pick him out. I think it's no coincidence that King that time, Okazaki before, have got across the first man and had attempts on goal with the head.
There's Jamie Vardy, who's been kept relatively quiet so far. Simpson challenged over there by Martial, and then he's dragged Ibrahimovic down.
Yeah, it was, wasn't he? Got caught by Zlatan.
It was one of the things that Ranieri changed last season, during the season. Simpson at right back and Fuchs at left back. Well, they both got into the team as the season wore on and then didn't give up their places after that.
It's all been nice and easy though for Manchester United. They haven't looked at any sort of danger at all. I think Leicester have just been a little bit too negative really. They haven't pressed them at all. Even when Carrick and Fellaini have got the ball, they've allowed them to turn and move forward.
There's Rooney. He skipped away from Simpson. And even on a day like this, when the officials are reluctant to show yellow cards, Craig Pawson hadn't really got an alternative there.
Yeah, you're right. Had to go, didn't he? Raised the leg a second time. Knew he was well beaten.
Martial's on the move here. Wes Morgan had spotted it. There's been quite a bit of rotation amongst the Manchester United front players in the last 10 minutes or so. Rooney's popped up on the left and Martial through the middle, and Ibrahimovic has dropped a little bit deeper. Something we didn't see very regularly during the days of Louis van Gaal, where they were very structured in the way they played.
Well, they should be able to move around like that, to be very honest. I think if Zlatan stays centrally, you know Huth and Morgan know where he is, they know how to pick him up. But when you've got the likes of Wayne Rooney, Martial and Zlatan Ibrahimovic that can play in numerous positions, I think to move the centre defenders around is really, really important. Keep them guessing, keep them thinking.
More of a press this time from Leicester.
You see here, Fletch, I mean, he could have easily picked out Antonio Valencia there, but they didn't really panic at all, Manchester United. Leicester didn't do enough. They're sort of running around and getting into positions, but they're not affecting the ball at all.
Ibrahimovic was looking to lay it off towards Lingard, but you saw earlier in that move that Rooney was on the right this time. Here's Danny Drinkwater. Never played a senior game at Manchester United. He did make his England debut last season and was one of the players right on the edge of the European Championship squad. You would feel that he's a player who's likely to get chances under Sam Allardyce, the New England manager, who's here today. We've got some European football for you in midweek, by the way. Tuesday night, the UEFA Super Cup, Real Madrid, the Champions League winners against Sevilla, the Europa League winners. That's at 7 o'clock on BT Sport 2 HD on Tuesday. Sevilla, who have lost Kevin Gamero during the course of the summer, their key man last season in terms of goals. He's gone to Atletico Madrid, and as yet, no Galactico into the Bernabeu, though I'm sure that may well change by the time the transfer window closes.
Yeah, lost the manager as well. He's gone to PSG, hasn't he? Unai Emery. Won his first trophy yesterday with Paris Saint-Germain winning their Super Cup, their Community Shield as such.
Albrighton's ball in. Plenty of time and composure from Michael Carrick. And then the vision to pick out Ibrahimovic as well. Martial's the player who's made the run.
Very good, well, Drinkwater, didn't he? But really well.
We will expect changes probably at half-time, if not, certainly not too long into the second half. Both managers if you missed it earlier, can select 7 substitutes today. They can use 6 of them as well. And should it be all square at 90 minutes, we go straight to a penalty shootout. So expect changes during the course of the second half or at half-time. And both coaches have named very strong benches too.
Yeah, and I think certainly Jose Mourinho said the players need minutes on the pitch, don't they? So expect a lot of changes for United.
Here's Drinkwater. Leicester looking to finish this first half on the front foot. They've not really been able to create much as yet. This man is always good at creating things, Riyad Mahrez. Luke Shaw just gave him a nudge, and then Wayne Rooney was there to help out. And between them, they dealt with the threat of Mahrez.
Yeah, Mahrez thought they were a couple of arms from Luke Shaw pushing him there, wasn't it? Just wasn't shoulder to shoulder.
Drinkwater's fouled by Martial. He's changed his number this season. By all accounts, he wasn't completely thrilled by it, but never mind. Lost the number 9 shirt to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, so he's gone for the number 11. There's the number 9. Can't say no to Zlatan, it would appear. Free kick clipped forward here to Okazaki. Drinkwater.
Back in the box. Pass the ball.
Run made here by Albrighton, who's popped up on the other side, and it was a touch there off Albrighton and not Ibrahimovic, much to the annoyance of the Leicester City winger.
Yeah, you're right, he's incredulous there, isn't he, Mark Albrighton?
Stephen Child is the assistant over there, who was pretty adamant he got it right. You could tell by the smile on his face.
You couldn't really see that.
One by Fellaini. Huth away.
No keeper, no keeper. Here we go, Wayne.
Manchester United can come forward here with the goal scorer Lingard, and now Valencia. Rooney, Ibrahimovic and Martial around the Leicester penalty area. Here's Lingard. By to Rooney. Okazaki was there. So there's the half-time whistle in the Community Shield here at Wembley. And we've had a fantastically taken goal by Jesse Lingard for Manchester United, the player that won the FA Cup so dramatically for them in May, with a fine solo effort and an impressive 45 minutes as well by Manchester United's new signing at the back, Eric Bailly. Not too much in the way of an attacking threat from the champions so far. Half-time, Leicester City 0, Manchester United 1.
Community kit scheme from McDonald's, sponsoring the FA Community Shield.
The Super Cup. For the 3rd year, it's an all-Spanish showpiece. But for all the skill, one of these winners must lose. Real Madrid, Sevilla. Exclusively live on BT Sports.
Top footballers work damn hard for their mega bucks, running around plastic cones,
Round.
listening to clueless old men, and getting in the way. But you could get a fortune without all this effort with Paddy Power's free-to-enter Hot Shot Jackpot. Every Premier League week, you can win big by simply picking 8 anytime goal scorers from 8 selected matches. So if they get round to doing this, the jackpot of at least £250,000 could be yours. Paddy Power, you're welcome.
In the heart of downtown Sydney, atop a 58-story high-rise, you'll find your target.
Mobile Strike. Download and play free from the App Store.
This is one blade for beards and stubble. It's not another gel-cushioned 18-blade razor promising the shaviest shave ever. Because this is Philips One Blade, a blade for beards and stubble. Go against the grain, shape and shave any length. They've tried it. Be part of it and be your best you with Philips One Blade. Innovation and you. Philips. Save 1/3 at Boots.
Millions of players already joined the fight in Overwatch. Now it's your turn.
Psst, what are you looking at?
It's time to pick a side.
Overwatch. Play it now on PC and console.
The Mercedes-Benz C-Class from £299 per month.
Would you take a bullet? Would you bite the gun? Through the fire, I'll keep burning on. Well, I'll hold myself together. The fire, they keep burning on. Well, I'll hold myself together.
Here I am.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world.
Batman v Superman. Buy it on Blu-ray and DVD now.
Champion is. A champion is someone who's ready when the bell rings. Not just before, not just after, but when it rings.
It's been 19 years since MotoGP last raced in Austria. Honda won back then. But will Marc Marquez do it again in 2016? Find out live on BT Sport 2.
Community kit scheme from McDonald's, sponsoring the FA Community Shield.
Welcome back. This young man likes it here. A smart finish in the cup final and the same again 78 days later. Jesse Lingard with a Giggs-esque kind of goal. And that is the difference between the two sides at half-time. Right, here's how the new season shapes up here on BT Sports. Mark Pugac will bring you the very latest from around the grounds every Saturday and BT Sports Score. Make a note in your diary that our Premier League coverage now starts at 5 p.m. every Saturday evening, kicking off at 5:30. And we'll also wrap up Saturday in Premier League tonight, reviewing, discussing, dissecting the day's play. Well, Michael Owen, you know the kind of damage you can cause opposition defences with some direct running and a bit of pace, and that's exactly what Jesse Lingard did there, wasn't it?
Yeah, very individual goal, great goal from Lingard. I love the first little side step from him. He just bought that little bit of space, and then once he got that space, everything really opened up. Goes past the next person. Then Wes Morgan, I thought he could have done better. He hardly gets a touch. And it's a nice enough finish as well. Kasper Schmeichel just get a touch on it, but it's that little almost
He takes the man away. He assesses that there's not going to be a winning challenge there, and that's when he starts his move. But I mean, you've got a point, Robbie, as well.
I think that's where they miss Kante in the park. Both centre midfielders were ahead of the ball, or Brighton try and tuck round. I think Kante spots the danger there early, makes a challenge.
Yeah, I agree, but nothing this kid does on the football pitch surprises me. The FA Cup final, not a problem. Here again, not at this stage, he loves it. This kid scored goals, 10, 15, 18 goals a season, all of his junior and youth team life. And he just, every time he stepped up, he seems to just acclimatise to that level very, very simply. And he's doing it in the Manchester United first team. And Jose Mourinho, we're very pleased with that.
Speed of thought awareness. I know that you believe he's going to be key for Manchester United this season. But let's talk about Leicester, because that was uncharacteristic at the back for them. But going forwards, Jamie Vardy central looks like the same old Leicester, doesn't it?
Yeah, United comfortable possession, having all the possession, but on the counter-attack, Leicester look dangerous. I think Valencia does so well there. He could have gone for the 1-2, but he covered the run of Vardy. The shot eventually deflected from Okazaki, but Leicester on the counter-attack do look dangerous.
Yeah, close there. Another opportunity here.
I mean, it's a great header, to be fair. Hits the crossbar, great run across the front post. They're very hard to mark there, and he's unlucky. I thought it could be 1-0 to Leicester, different games.
OK, now I know you're a man who likes a tweet or two, and I saw your tweet in that first half, especially if Eric Bailly with the hashtag stay on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, centre-halves, I don't like seeing centre-halves go to ground unless you're absolutely certain you're going to get the ball. And here, they're counter-attacking here. Sometimes you've got to jockey, stay on your feet there and make sure the player plays the ball wide. But he's looked impressive in the first half, Bailly. Everyone's unsure how he's going to adapt to the English game. So far, the physical and athletic side of the game, he seems very, very adept at dealing with it. Very, very, very sure of himself, on the front foot, wants to defend. Looks like he really enjoyed it here. The ball getting to Vardy may be questionable. Once he's there, he looks very comfortable 1v1, which is great to see.
I'll tell you what, Luke Shaw, special mention of Luke Shaw, his first real competitive game back. Mahrez played the year last year, has not had a kick, so well done, Luke Shaw.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, as we said, didn't we, for Leicester, particularly the new boys, this is the ultimate test. Leicester playing Manchester United here in the Community Shield, trailing 1-0, but all to fight for in the second half, and we know Claudio Ranieri will be telling his players to fight. Let's see what they've got in the second half. See you in a moment.
Community Football Days from McDonald's, sponsoring the FA Community Shield.
Will Guardiola take Man City all the way? Can Rodgers return Celtic to former glories? Plus, catch Irish champions Dundalk and every playoff match exclusively live only on BT Sport.
In 1968, Apollo 8 crossed the far side of the moon. For the first time in the history of mankind, astronauts saw something emerge in the night sky that fascinated them. The Earth rising. One of them wrote in his diary, "We were all surprised to have traveled 240,000 miles to see the moon, when the Earth was what was really worth contemplating."
Sad.
KTV with your host, Katie Price. To celebrate your support of Team GB, for every gold, silver and bronze medal they win, you can win too. The Lotto Medal event on the 27th of August.
I am Team GB.
Anyone can win with the Lotto Medal event. Please, don't let it be her.
Hello, I'm David Brent. I am following my dream as the lead singer in the band Foregone Conclusion. Is the lead singer cool? You did a judge of that. Hey. If you tell the band I got off with a bird, David got off with a girl last night, and don't describe. Well, you just won't say it. Well, you can. Just don't describe her. Keep the noise down. Nah, turn it up.
Prepare for war. Great battles will be fought, and legends will be made. Forge a mighty clan,
Join players from around the world. Develop your strategy and lead your armies to victory. Vikings War of Clans. Download for free.
Nice and steady, wins the race.
It pays to be a safer driver. Using our free Aviva Drive app to measure how you drive, safer drivers could save an average of £150 on our car insurance. Visit aviva.co.uk to see if you could save.
This is Blossoms, the most exciting band of the year, with their debut album. Blossoms, with their incredible debut album, out now.
It's my first game. Got any tips?
Tips? Yeah. Check out this great offer.
Get your mobile out.
I'm having that. Got any more?
Yeah. Check your duck speed.
Duck speed.
Download the Coral app and check out our great offers.
Please bet responsibly.
Community Football Days from McDonald's, sponsoring the FA Community Shield.
Welcome back to Wembley. Just to let you know that you can see Rio meeting Wayne Rooney tonight from 6:30 here on BT Sport. Rio had a good chat with him just ahead of his testimonial last week. Well worth a watch. But it's 1-0 currently to Manchester United. Here's a good one for you. The last Man United player to score in the Cup final and the Shield, Eric Cantona, 20 years ago. Jesse Lingard now joins that exclusive club, but the sun is still out. Not in the Manchester United end, but certainly for the Leicester fans, they're basking in the sunshine. But what they want to see from their team is goals, and Ahmed Musa, record signing coming on at half-time, and that's exactly what he brings, Robbie.
Yeah, £60 million from CSKA, so, you know, he'll offer a threat. So much pace. He's got 2 great goals against Barcelona in pre-season already, so him and Vardy, the pace they've got there, should frighten Bailly, who's done well in the first half, and Blind.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Demarai Gray's coming on as well. He has a bit of injection of pace. He's direct, a young player. Be interesting to see how he does on this stage. But I think also for Manchester United, getting minutes into the legs of the players, but also Nusa Mkhitaryan's on the bench. He'll be wanting to get on there. Most assists in German football last year. He'll be looking to go out there and join the party. But I want to see more of Zlatan. You want him out there to get their minutes in. So come the start of the season, he's hitting the ground running.
Yeah, you've been slightly frustrated actually in that first half by Zlatan's positioning, haven't you?
Well, I think he'd be slightly frustrated, more so than me, Jake. He's that type of player, you know. He drifts in and out of games, and when he's on form, he's involved in everything. But a lot of the time, he drops off into positions where you don't really want him. He's taking up positions that Wayne Rooney should be taking up. He needs to keep a bit of length about the team, and at the moment he's getting frustrated, probably a lack of balls that are coming into him, so he's going searching for the ball. I've done it myself, you know. You feel as if you're not in the game and you go and search for that game. You've just got to almost take one for the team and hold your position.
OK, the Leicester players looking to overturn the deficit, but I'm sure the message from Jose Mourinho would have been at half-time, see this out. Win a trophy to start the season and beat the champions.
Exactly. You're 1-0 up. See this out. Get your hands on a trophy. Get that winning mentality. Get that winning feeling in your bones to go into the season, giving that confidence, that platform to really go and make an assault for the league.
OK, and as you can see there, Demarai Gray coming on, but also Ahmed Musa. Their record signing, and they will hope that he can make the difference in this second half. Let me hand you back to Darren Fletcher and Steve McManaman.
Thanks, Jake. So on come the Leicester City substitutes, Mark Albrighton and Shinji Okazaki, the players to make way. I saw Musa play a couple of times for CSKA Moscow against Manchester United last season, Steve, in the Champions League, and he played wide on the left. He's a real flying machine. He got a couple of goals, didn't he, against Barcelona in an earlier pre-season match, but he has tended to play in a slightly more central role here behind Jamie Vardy for Leicester. It's going to be interesting where he eventually finds a home, and he will find a place in the side. Yeah. He's a club record signing and he's been brought into play.
You see that front four, if it does consist of Mahrez, Vardy, Musa, and Gray. It is very exciting, isn't it? A lot of pace there. They have to utilise it. They'll have to go and try and hunt the ball down. Real big positive moves from Claudio Ranieri at the start of the second half.
And no changes made by Jose Mourinho. His side leading by that fantastically taken goal by Jesse Lingard in the first half. If you missed the news earlier today, Paul Pogba has reportedly been given permission to undergo his Manchester United medical. They spent 56 million so far this summer, Mkhitaryan and Bailly costing the money. Up to now, they would go past £500 million if they complete the deal for Paul Pogba since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And that transfer you would expect to be pretty imminent once the medical is sorted out.
Just the £500 million.
Yeah.
Just the £500 million.
Yeah. Loose change down the back of the Old Trafford setting.
Plenty more where that came from.
Martial was looking to play the ball infield towards Rooney. Both of these sides are going to be starting off away from home next weekend in the Premier League. Now the season kicks off at lunchtime involving the champions Leicester City. They're at managerless Hull. Manchester United wait till Sunday when they go to Bournemouth, the ground they lost on last season. And the first free kick of this second half has gone Leicester's way with the foul on Jamie Vardy by Michael Carrick.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad actually. Wrapped his leg around, got the ball.
Valencia wins the Manchester United header. And then Rooney out to Lingard. And then Ibrahimovic was flagged offside. It's quite a start to the season, Steve, for Leicester. They face Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United in their first 6 Premier League matches, and the United and Liverpool games are both away from home, and they've got that Champions League group stage starting as well in mid-September too, so it's not as if they've won the Championship and they'll get a nice easy start to the campaign. They're going to be tested early on. Here's Vardy, and they're looking to test Manchester United early on in this second half. Good challenge by Bailly, initially on Musa and then on Mahrez. And he wins 2 more tackles, Manchester United summer signing.
Yeah, 2 important tackles as well, shows good strength and awareness as well. We know how quick Musa is.
Here's Anthony Martial. Fellaini supporting him here. Martial thought about the shot and took it. Drinkwater was in the way. Rooney tussling with Mahrez, who can bring it away for Leicester, although not too far. Ran into Michael Carrick. Here's Musa, who's a real speed merchant. Carrick to Martial. Lingard calling for it in a central position. Martial wants to take it himself here, and then try and tee up Ibrahimovic. And then Rooney. And the touch from the Manchester United captain was heavy. Musa was then in there with the challenge on Michael Carrick. Mahrez has won himself the free kick here after Luke Shaw got in his way.
Yeah, he got away with that actually, Mahrez. Nice skill from him, but I don't think he meant to put it through Luke Shaw's legs. We haven't seen any of the Man United subs warming up at all in this game, Flex, so plenty of time, I think, for the boys out on the pitch.
It's Damari Gray. He's a January signing from Birmingham in the Championship, and he's won his side a throw-in. Fuchs gets on with it to Andy King, and then Gray. Wes Morgan. Danny Drinkwater. Great challenge there by Antonio Valencia. Claudio Ranieri signed the 20-year-old during the January transfer window. He only managed to make one start in the Premier League last season, Damari Gray, because the Leicester side was so settled. He's yet to score his first goal in a Leicester shirt as well, but there's some real attacking threats and some real pace on the pitch for Leicester now, Steve, in the second half, with Mahrez and Gray wide, and then Musa supporting Vardy through the middle.
Yeah, he showed a lot of promise at Birmingham, didn't he? And the money that Leicester paid for him was next to nothing, so...
Mahrez is in behind Shaw, who missed the header, and here's Musa, and then Vardy. Now Drinkwater. The initial promising position that Leicester had managed to create had disappeared fast. They weren't quite crisp enough around that Manchester United box.
Yeah, Musa was his thought process was a little bit slow, whether that's just because he's come onto the pitch. He just got a little bit lost in that area and slowed the game right down. Lost the opportunity to get a shot on target.
And Robbie was talking about the performance of Luke Shaw at left-back at half-time. That's actually the first mistake he's made all afternoon. He just mistimed the jump, didn't he?
Yeah.
Now Wayne Rooney with Antonio Valencia looking to get forward here from right back for Manchester United. In towards Martial. Away by Danny Simpson. Musa away from Michael Carrick, and then you see the acceleration of the club record signing for Leicester. The distribution was poor, although Vardy's going to be in. He's around David De Gea, and the man who scored so many goals for Leicester City last season is off and running again, Jamie Vardy.
There you go again. Vardy and goal in the same sentence. And he must be going mad. Mourinho. It was a massive mistake by Marouane Fellaini. But all credit to Jamie Vardy. He always thinks the worst case scenario all the time. What if someone does this? What if someone makes a mistake? And you know what? It was Marouane Fellaini, and he was onto it. Quick as you like. David De Gea can't bring him down. Of course he can't. He's leaving the pitch. In the end, he turns his back. And there's a nice tight angle, and he squeezes it in from Jamie Vardy. Lovely finish, but how alert is he here? Look, I am onto that like a flash. Daley Blin's half asleep because he's not expecting it, but good centre forwards expect it, and he finishes like that. Thank you very much.
He's certainly enjoying it.
Oh, yes.
24 goals in 46 Premier League matches last season for Vardy, and goals for England as well. And he's picked up latching on to the Fellaini mistake, and just like that, Leicester City are level at 1-1, 8 minutes into the second half.
Everybody's really been looking